when we're trying to find the functional value, like f of 0, all we have to do is plug 0 into f. So I'm going to take 0 and plug it into this equation for x. So we'll have 0 squared plus 4. That makes 4. So f of 0 is 4. Same thing with negative 5. Just plug it in. Negative 5 squared plus 4. Negative 5 squared is 25. Plus 4 makes 29. And f of 1 is 1 squared plus 4. So 1 plus 4 is 5. In part B, we're doing the exact same thing, except we're plugging these values into g. So g of 0 is 2 times 0 plus 10, which would be 10. G of negative 5 is 2 times negative 5 plus 10, or negative 10 plus 10, which is 0. And g of 1 is 2 times 1 plus 10, or 2 plus 10, which is 12. Now, once we know all of those values, when I want to find f plus g of 0, all I have to do is find f of 0 and g of 0 and add those two together. So f of 0 is 4, g of 0 is 10, so f plus g of 0 is 14. Similarly with f plus g of negative 5, I look to the negative 5's, and f of negative 5 is 29, and g of negative 5 is 0, so that'll make 29. And same thing with f plus g of 1. I look at the 1's, f of 1 is 5, plus g of 1 is 12, equals 17. Multiplication works the same way. F times g of 0 is f of 0 times g of 0. Now this isn't 0 times 0. It's f of 0, which is 4, times g of 0, which is 10. 4 times 10 is 40. And then we can do the same thing for f times g of negative 5. F of negative 5 is 29, times g of negative 5 is 0, and 29 times 0, this will be 0. And for f times g of 1, f of 1 is 5, times g of 1 is 12, 5 times 12 is 60. And we finish up problem number 1 with a bunch of fractions. Now what's very important is to pay attention to the order. When I have f over g of 0, remember that that's f of 0 over g of 0. F of 0 was 4, and g of 0 was 10. So we have 4 over 10, and we should simplify every fraction. This should be 2/5, not 4/10. When we have f over g of negative 5, take f of negative 5, which is 29, and divide it by g of negative 5, which is 0. And if you try to divide by 0, you can't. Don't think that it's 0. It's actually undefined. If you were to plug that into your calculator, do 29 divided by 0, and you'll end up getting an error. For g over f of negative 5, we have to put g on top. And g of negative 5 is 0, where f of negative 5 was 29. Now, if you do 0 divided by 29, you will get 0. And finally, g over f of 1. G of 1 is 12. F of 1 is 5. This fraction can't be simplified, so leaving it 12 over 5 is just fine.